Read Aloud is about eggs, and what I have right here are some eggs. And if you are a smart pre-K student, you can count these eggs with me, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And when you have 12 eggs, you can call that a dozen. So, first thing I want to ask is, where do eggs come from? And take a minute and think about where eggs come from. Eggs actually come from animals, and some animals lay eggs that hatch into baby animals. And what I have here are chicken eggs. So these eggs probably came from a farm, and they came from a chicken. So the story that we're going to read today is called Guess What is Growing Inside This Egg by Mia Posada. And animals that hatch from eggs are called oviparous animals. And that's a word that you might learn later on in school, but if you want to know the name of that word, it's called oviparous. And this book is going to give you some clues about what animal is hatching from the egg. And then when you turn the page, it will reveal the animal, and then it's going to give you some true facts about the animal. Now, if this book is of true facts about animals, what kind of book is it? Is it nonfiction or fiction? It is actually a nonfiction book. So with that being said, we're going to read Guess What is Growing Inside This Egg by Mia Posada. This egg sits snugly on its father's feet. He warms it with his body's heat. Under his feathered belly, it's cozy and warm, safe from the icy Antarctic storm. Can you guess what is growing inside this egg? Look at the picture and see if you can guess what animal is inside the egg. A penguin. This baby penguin or chick lives in Antarctica, one of the coldest, windiest places on Earth. When it is hatched, its mother returns from the sea to help care for it. Now, its father needs to hunt for food. He hasn't eaten in the 2 months that he has cared for the egg. The mother and father penguins take turns holding the little chick on their feet to keep it warm, and going to the sea to hunt for fish and squid to feed it. Once it grows its waterproof feathers, the chick will be able to swim and hunt on its own. Can you guess what is growing inside these eggs? This mound of dirt and sticks piled high makes a safe nest for these eggs to lie. Predators of the swamp had better keep back. This sharp-toothed mother will attack. What animal do you think is inside these eggs? Look at the bottom corner of the page. What kind of tail is sticking out of the water? Alligators. These baby alligators will grow to be 9 or more feet long. They spend most of their time in the swamp water, floating on the surface or diving below like a submarine. They use their long tails as paddles to push themselves through the water. They hunt for birds, turtles, snakes, and fish to eat. Alligators cannot chew their food. They grab their prey with their strong jaws and swallow it whole. Tall lakeshore reeds help hide the nest, where these eggs lie under their mother's breast. Can you guess what is growing inside these eggs? This animal lives at a lake, so what animal do you think is inside these eggs? Ducklings. As soon as their feathers are dry, they will be able to follow their mother to the nearby lake. The brother and sister ducklings walk in a line, one after the other. Ducklings do not need swimming lessons. They are born already knowing how to swim. With their webbed feet, they paddle through the water. Soon they learn to feed on worms, water plants, and insects just below the water surface. Their mother crawled from sea to land to bury these soft eggs in the sand. Can you guess what is growing inside these eggs? A hint is that the mother's leg is at the corner of the page. Sea turtles. The tiny baby turtles hatch under the sand. They use their flippers to push themselves up to the surface of the beach. Leaving the nest at night, they must find their way to the water on their own. It is a dangerous journey as crabs and birds like to eat the tiny turtles. Once they have made it safely to the ocean, the baby turtles swim far out to sea and feed on small sea animals called plankton. As they grow, they begin to feed on larger things such as jellyfish and seaweed. When the female sea turtles are grown, they will return to the beach to lay their own eggs. This round sack of silk thread is packed full of tiny eggs. Their mother spun it with her 8 long legs. Can you guess what is growing inside these eggs? A hint is that the mother's legs are at the bottom of the page. Spiders. Hundreds of baby spiders, called spiderlings, hatch from their eggs inside the egg sac. Then they tear open the sac and crawl out. Like their mother, the spiderlings have 8 legs. They also have 8 eyes, but they do not see very well. Each spiderling must find a new home. It sends out a thread of silk from its body into the air and lets the wind catch it. The wind carries the tiny spiderling away until it lands in a new place where it will build its web. This is called parachuting. The spider's web traps insects for it to eat. Can you guess what is growing inside these eggs? Hidden in a rocky cave deep beneath the ocean waves, their mother wraps her long arms around to keep these eggs safe and sound. And a hint is that it lives in the ocean and it has 8 legs. Octopuses. You can actually see the baby octopuses inside their eggs. They are only about the size of a grain of rice when they hatch, but they are able to take care of themselves. The tiny octopuses float in the water, feeding on plankton. When they grow bigger, they use their 8 arms called tentacles to catch crabs, fish, and clams. The octopuses hide from predators by changing their color to look just like the sand or rocks around them. The baby octopuses grow quickly. In about 1 or 2 years, they will be full grown. This page shows us the actual sizes of the eggs in the story. The biggest egg on this page is the penguin egg. Right below it is the octopus leg, and it's very small. Then the round egg is the sea turtle egg. Then on the next page at the top, you can see a duck egg. And then below it is the smallest egg on the page, which is the spider egg. And then right below that is the alligator egg. Inside a duck egg, ducklings incubate or grow inside their eggs for 26 to 28 days. On the 4th day that the egg is laid, which you see on the first egg picture on the page, this is what the inside of it will look like. If you go to the next egg, this is what the egg will look like on the inside on the 10th day. On the 14th day is the 3rd egg, and that's what the duck looks like inside the egg on the 14th day. And on the 26th day, you can see the duck inside the egg and it's ready to hatch. At the top of the page, it gives you the times for how long it takes an animal to hatch from the egg. It says a penguin takes 2 months, an alligator takes 2 months, a sea turtle takes 1.5 to 3 months, a spider takes about 3 months, octopus 1 month to 1 year depending on species and temperature of the water. Alright, we just finished reading our book, Guess What is Growing Inside This Egg by Mia Posada. And now we're going to chart the names of animals that lay or hatch from eggs. So the title of my chart is called Animals That Lay Eggs. So the first animal that we're going to chart is from the book that we read, and it makes this sound. Alright. The animal that made that sound is an alligator. So here's a picture of an alligator, and I'm going to write the word alligator above it. The word alligator begins with the I sound. So what letter do you think that is? It is an A. Gay. And the last sound in the word alligator is So what letter do you think that is? It is an R. All right. The next animal that we're going to list was not in our book, and it makes this sound. All right. If you guessed it, it was a snake. So you spell the word snake, you begin with the S. What letter makes a S sound? It is an S. A. All right, snake. All right, the next animal was in our book, and it doesn't really make a sound, but it is an animal that has 8 legs, and it's very small, and it crawls around. Sometimes you find them in your house or outside. All right, if you guessed spider, you are correct. And spider also begins with a S. So we're going to start with an S. Then we're going to have a P-I-D-E-R. Spider. All right, the next animal doesn't really make a sound that you would recognize, but it lives in Antarctica, and it's in the movie Happy Feet. All right, if you guessed penguin, you are correct. And penguin begins with a p sound. So what sound is p, or what letter is p? It is a P. And you spell penguin with a P-E-N-G-U-I. And penguin ends with an N sound. So what sounds makes N? It is an N. All right, the next animal was also not in our book, but it lives on a farm and makes this sound. All right, if you guessed it, it was chicken. And you spell chicken, it begins with a C. And if you put a C and an H together, it makes the ch sound. I-C-K-E, chicken, N. Okay? All right, the next animal was not in our book, but this animal flies around in the sky and makes this sound. All right, if you guessed bird, you are correct. And bird begins with a B sound. It is bird. B-I-R-D. Bird. All right. The next animal was in our book, and it makes this sound. All right. If you guessed duck, you were correct. So we're going to write the word duck, and duck begins with a D sound. And that is a D. And then you spell E-C-K. Duck. All right. And the last animal that we have does not make a sound, but it lives in the ocean and it has 8 legs. All right, if you guessed octopus, you are correct. Octopus begins with an ah, ah, ah sound. So what letter makes an ah sound? It is an O. And you spell octopus O-C-T-O-P-U, and it ends with a S sound. What letter makes a S sound? It is an S. So the animals that lay eggs are an alligator, a penguin, snakes, a bird, chickens, spiders, octopi, and ducks. And there are other animals that lay eggs, but we're going to stop for right now because if we named them all, we would be here all day.